Well, hello there. In this video, we're going to be talking about the elements of music, which include these words right here. Now, before we dive into all of those, I want to talk about these right here: beat, rhythm, melody, and harmony. Now, these are the foundation of most music that we listen to today, and I just want to break it down really quick. So let's start with beat. Beat is a foundation of music. Let's listen to what a beat can sound like. Now, if we were to listen to 3 or 4 minutes of just that, I would be rather bored. It's not much, it's very simple, but it's extremely important. That clicking that we heard is called a metronome, and that's what keeps everything together, and that's what sets the time. So just for a moment with me, think of this as a unit of time. This side is going to be the start, this side is going to be the end, and everything in the middle is our song. So without this, our song doesn't have anywhere to attach to, and that's what leads into rhythm. Rhythm is the flow of music through time. So let's look at this for just a moment. If we go back to this analogy, our start and our end, this is our beat. This is the timeline. Rhythm is everything that flows within this. Rhythms can be fast, rhythms can be slow, they can be short, or they can be long. And that's why music can be so simple, but also so complex at the exact same time. And now, if you just have rhythm and beat, you're able to create music, but in order to continue to make that music more complex, you're going to need something called melody. Now, melody is a sequence of pitches and rhythms. Another way to think about that is the melody is the tune of a song. Or if you think of your favorite song right now, think about it, there's a good chance that you're thinking of the melody. And that's the composer, or the person who writes the music, their main idea. It's what our ear is automatically drawn to. And so that's the melody. And if we had melody, rhythm, and beat, we would have enough. But there's one more thing that kind of is that cherry on top, and that's harmony. Harmony is where you have 2 or more notes played at the same time. So if this is our melody, harmony can be above the melody, or harmony can be below the melody. And whatever notes that the composer decides to pick for the harmony determines whether or not that melody is happy or sad. So that's the great thing about harmony, is it kind of determines the mood of the entire piece. So now these are the elements of music that make up most of the songs that we listen to today. But there are a couple of other elements that I want to talk about. The first one is dynamics. Now, dynamics are how loud or soft a piece of music is. And music can be changing dynamics throughout the entire thing. If a composer really wants you to lean in, they're going to write a little softer. But if it's time for the really big climax, it's going to be really loud! And without the dynamics, the music can be rather monotone, and you can kind of tune it out after a while. So dynamics are what composers use to really help you stay engaged with the music that you're listening to. In addition to dynamics, the timbre is also something that we can be aware about. Timbre is the quality of sound in which you're hearing. So I'm going to play 3 different clips. I'm going to play the exact same thing for all 3 clips, but I'm just going to change the timbre. So here's the first one. Here's the second one. Here's the third one. So I played the exact same thing and just changed the instrument that was used, and it changed the sound quality. So that's the timbre, is the sound quality of what we hear. Now I want to talk about pitch. I mentioned it earlier when talking about melody, but pitch is how high or how low the sound is. We measure sound in sound waves, and we measure sound waves by how close or how far apart they are. The higher the pitch, the closer the sound waves are together. The lower the pitch, the farther away the sound waves are. If we think of it as instruments, a bigger instrument is going to produce lower sound, or farther apart sound waves. And a smaller instrument is going to have sound waves that are a lot closer to each other. So if we think about a tuba and a recorder, which do you think is going to have the lower sound waves? Exactly, the tuba, because it's a lot bigger. So that's pitch. These are some of the elements of music. Now, the thing I love about music is there's not one right way to do it. You can have an 80-piece orchestra playing this wonderful symphony, or you can have someone playing a bucket and it's still considered music. There are lots of things that go into the music making process, and it's helpful to know some of the elements that go into that. So as you're creating music, you can confidently make these decisions on what you want your song to be. Well, that's all for this video. Now go out there and make some wonderful music. Have a great day. Bye-bye.